Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 9, Episode 20, the season finale. But hold your horses, y'all. Instead of the 3-part reunion that we normally have, we're going to get a 4-part reunion this year. Why, Bravo? Why, Bravo? Okay, like, is this shit going to be that damn intense to where we need a 4-part reunion? Like, I think 3 parts is too goddamn much. Then y'all gonna sit up here and add on another part? Like, I feel like reviewing 4 damn parts to a reunion. Hell, man, like, I was so mad when I saw that shit the other day in the blogs. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my god, are they really serious right now? But anyways, let's just get started with the review. So we started off with Sheree. She's with her event planners or whatever, still trying to get everything for her housewarming party for the Shat 2. And she wants to do a masquerade theme, and she has like at least 3 signature drinks. One of them is called Neverland, the other one is called Shat 2 Can't Pay, and I can't remember what the last one was called, but obviously she's making jokes, or she's making joke or whatever of the shade that she's received over the years from the ladies or whatever about her house or whatever, this, that, and the third. And sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself when other people are laughing at you. So I mean, hey, it's whatever. So moving on from that, because it wasn't really too much with that scene, we get Kandi and Riley. They're meeting up with Riley's dad, and Kandi is pretty much telling Riley to pretty much be engaged with him or whatever. Don't be one wording him, and don't be on your phone or whatever, this, that, and the third. And she was like, I thought it was cool to kind of bring you to your favorite restaurant to have this get together with your dad or whatever. And Riley is looking at her like, yeah, but you ruined it. Well, she actually not look at her, she's actually telling her that she ruined it for her, that being her favorite restaurant and everything. So he finally shows up. It's awkward, she's barely talking, and Riley doesn't seem to have a lot of camera presence, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if she wasn't really talking because she's shy or she's nervous or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Especially, I guess, dealing with the situation like this on camera is probably kind of tough for her. But anyways, he's trying to ask her questions, pretty much one word in him, what Kandi pretty much told her not to do. Kandi is trying to break the ice, and asking him what he's been up to, and he's asking her what's going on in her world in the music industry. And she's like, I've been doing songs for like my group and for Riley. And he's like, what's the name of the song or whatever, and he's listening to it, and it's the song that's pretty much about him that he's listening to. And he's like, who wrote it or whatever. And excuse me, Kandi is like, I just took what she been saying to me and put it in the song. And Block, he asks Riley, like, what if your mom's to leave the table right now? She's like, I would go with her, like, and Kandi is like, you can sit here and chill with your dad for 10 minutes or whatever. She's trying to make an attempt to leave, and Riley is like, no, Mom, stay or whatever. And she's trying to go to the bathroom, and Riley was like, okay, and you can hold it. She telling Kandi to hold her pee and shit. And Kandi is like, I can't just sit up here and hold my pee and everything. She was like, you'll be alright or whatever, I'll be right back, and whatnot. So she goes to the bathroom, and her and Block, they're alone, and it's weird. And he's like, what do you know about me besides my birthday? And she's like, nothing really. And he claims that he was at the hospital when she was born or whatever, and she's like, but you didn't sign the birth certificate. Like what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And he claims how he's trying to make up for lost time. Kandi, she comes back or whatever, and he's like, yo, she thinks that I wasn't there at the hospital or whatever. And Kandi was like, you wasn't there when she was born, but you did stop by or whatever. And I think Block had said something. I can't remember what he said, but Candy asked, Riley, do you recall you and him talking like that throughout the years on a regular basis? And Riley is like, no. And Block, he sits up here and tries to say that Riley is brainwashed. I hate when parents do that. I hate when parents sit up here and try to dumb down their kids like their kids are not intelligent enough to at some point put two and two together and really see what's really good, especially when your actions are showing it. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, there are probably some kids out there who are brainwashed due to a bitter baby mama or whatever the situation, whoever parent that they live with, they might get this notion of the other parent, like the other parent ain't shit and wasn't there for them, and not really knowing that the parent that they living with is trying to keep them away from the other parent or whatever, just that and third. But this ain't the case in this situation, Block. Riley is not brainwashed. She knows what the fuck you've been showing her throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? And Candy, she's like, really? You know what I'm saying? And Candy is like, you had her number since she was 5 years old and you barely used it. And he claims he's sitting here talking about somehow Candy should have made sure Riley reached out. Are you the parent or is she the parent? I'm sorry, because I thought she was the child here. You're the one who's supposed to be reaching out for her. Reaching out to her or whatever, even if she don't respond the first time or whatever. You keep on fucking trying because you're her fucking father, and you should have been there. And I know everybody talking about how Riley came about or whatever. That shit don't matter. You still made a fucking child. You know what I'm saying? You still brought a child into the world that you should have been taken care of, just like all your other kids. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, from what I've heard, Candy didn't even know that Block was in a relationship or whatever he called himself being in. But like I said, regardless of how she came about, he still should have stepped up and made sure he did what he had to do for her. So anyways, he's sitting up here talking about I'll make sure my other kids call their mom and blah, blah, blah. And Candy is like, if you're not a father to all of your kids, you're not a good father. And that's true. We have situations out here where, a guy will sit up here and have kids with one chick and take care of them kids, but won't take care of the other kids that he done had with another chick. So, anyways, Riley, she's on her phone or whatever. Candy tells her to put the phone down. Riley, she finally speaks up and says, you're the parent, I'm the child, and I'm not brainwashed when it's pretty obvious what, has been going on here. I said, I know that's right, Riley. You better let him know you ain't no dummy, okay? So he apologizes to Riley. He wants to move forward, and, pretty much, he claims that he's not going to lose any more communication with her, and we leave it at that. I felt like I spent too much time talking about that shit, but it's whatever. So anyways, we get to Phaedra. She's with Johnny yet again. But she ain't in the shit though. Okay. So anyways, like I said, she keep on saying that it has nothing to do with her or whatever. This, that, and the third. She's just here to give him legal advice. Why do you have to be there for every meeting that he has with the person that's supposed to be representing him? But you're not in the shit though. Like, get the fuck out of here, Phaedra. So anyways, the guy is telling him that they're not going to represent him with the whole restaurant situation because it's not enough, substantial evidence or whatever he was pretty much telling him. But they are going to represent him is in regards to the whole wage claim. So, he's saying that he was employed with Candy at the time of her wedding. He was like, this wasn't a regular wedding. It was a production. He was like, it would be 16-hour days. And, sometimes he'd be working 7 days, but only would get paid for 5 days. And he didn't get extra compensation. And, Phaedra was like, I rounded it up or whatever. And it seemed like he was only making $12.03 an hour. I said, Johnny, you was accepting if that was true and you was accepting that type of pay, people at McDonald's get paid more than that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny, you know what I'm saying, talking about, you know, because you gotta do what you gotta do. But I'm just saying, like, people, you know, at McDonald's, you know, because my mom, she working fast food, you know, she's in management position. But anyways, you know, people, like I said, people at fast food places get paid more than that. So it's just like, if you really was accepting that pay or whatever, that's, once again, that falls on you. You should have had shit in order. You should have had some type of contract going. And if they couldn't, you know, abide by that or whatever, then, you know, do what you had to do, leave or whatever. But whatever. So anyways, moving on from that, we get Sheree. Yeah, we get Sheree. She's still trying to set things up, and there's a lot of furniture that she done ordered that's missing, and apparently the people done brought her the wrong furniture or whatever, so she ain't gonna have no furniture for real at her house, at the housewarming. Moving on from that, we get this, you know, sad scene with Portia and, you know, her sister Lauren. They went to, you know, her dad's, their dad's grave site, because, you know, they both have the same dad. She was 17 when he passed away. Lauren was 10, you know, and Lauren was saying that she was like in therapy and these type of groups and stuff when he passed, but it didn't really work. And, you know, Portia, she didn't know all of this or whatever. And, you know, she was saying that, you know, despite the fact that her and Lauren had different moms, their dad always made sure that they loved each other as wholehearted sisters. Not, you know, no half sisters, but wholehearted sisters or whatever. And pretty much, you know, she realizes that, you know, she wants to marry a man kind of like her dad or whatever. And, you know, how, you know, and how her dad wanted her to have, you know, like a family and all this other stuff. So she's not upset about Todd and the whole, you know, baby nut thing anymore. Like, you know, she probably can't see like a real future with him. So, you know, that was, you know, a cool scene to see or whatever. So moving on from that, we get Candy. She's with Carmen and Todd at the candy, I think, was he at her house or the candy factory somewhere, and they get a call from Don Juan about Johnny suing her for overtime pay, and they all like, what? You know, and Candy is like, look, child, I done paid him, so I don't even know what the fuck he doing with all that. And Candy is like, but I did hear that, you know, he's been talking to Phaedra, so she's feeling like that, you know, Phaedra done put a bug in Johnny's ear or whatever. And, you know, meanwhile, over at Phaedra's house, we get a blast from the past, you know, Mr. Dwight, or whatever, he shows up and everything, and, you know, they flash back all the shade that the White was throwing at Sheree or whatever. You know, I think when she was trying to do that whole clothing line thing, is she not doing that no more? Because we ain't hear no more about that. You know what I'm saying? I always thought the name that she had for it was cute though, She by Sheree, but I mean, you know, whatever. So anyways, back over to Candy. You know, Candy says that she felt bad about Apollo's girlfriend showing up or whatever. And she knows that everybody's going to automatically try to blame her. And, you know, Todd is like, do I really have to go to this event, talking about Sheree's event, you know, with you and everything? And she's like, yeah, because you might need to calm me down or whatever. And he was like, yep, you right. He was like, yep, you right. I'm gonna go ahead on and go. So, anyways, moving on from that, we get to the housewarming. And, you know, well, the night of the housewarming, you know, Sheree, she's getting ready or whatever. You know, she's saying how she has security there, so the girls won't go to certain places that they don't need to be going, trying to be nosy or whatever. The ladies start to show up. Even Shaq Tooth Thelma shows up. Sheree's mama, y'all. She's, you know, the person who named the house is supposed to be in. She shows up or whatever. Cynthia, she's, you know, telling Portia and Shamia about Apollo's girlfriend showing up to to Candy's, you know, pre-opening of her restaurant and everything, and sitting up here saying how, you know, she's good friends with Apollo and Candy. I said, Cynthia, why did you say that? They is not good friends with that girl, especially Candy. Like, Candy, and I believe, and honestly and truthfully, I really believe Candy didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really believe that she didn't know. Like, Todd has a closer relationship with, you know, Apollo than Candy does. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly believe that Candy didn't know or whatever. But anyway, so, you know, Portia was like, I feel like that's messy or whatever, this, that, and the third. You know, Shamia was like, well, girl, spill the tea. Did she tell you anything? And, you know, Cynthia was like, well, they've been together for like 4 years or something like that. And Portia is like, wait a minute, this motherfucker only been locked up for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's obvious they've been messing around, you know, even before he got locked up and, you know, when he was still with Phaedra or whatever. And, you know, like, you know, I think, what was it, last week or whatever, the old girl was trying to say that they started out as friends. I don't believe 4 years ago y'all were friends. I believe y'all was, like, who you think you fooling, okay? So anyways, Portia feels like if Phaedra would have been there, would have been awkward or whatever. Cynthia, she's saying, well, since this is Sheree's event and she's kind of busy, I'll be the one to carry the bone for tonight. But this is the only time I'm going to do that shit. The only bones I'm trying to carry is these cheekbones. I said, I know that's right, Cynthia, girl. Yes. So anyways, Sheree, she finally comes out. I didn't really like what she had on, y'all. It was like this kind of jumpsuit thing with this thing to go around it, around her waist or whatever. I didn't really care for it too much. I don't know who's that calling, but they gonna have to wait. Anyway, so Portia, she gives Candy a hug, and Candy is confused, like, why is this bitch giving me a hug? I don't like you. You need to give me 50 feet. So Phaedra, she comes over with the white, and, you know, Candy didn't need to rush to tell her about Apollo, especially since, you know, Phaedra didn't feel the need to rush to tell her about the whole shit with Johnny. So speaking of Johnny, you know, Sheree brings up Johnny to Candy or whatever. You know, she's like, yeah, I saw it in the blogs or whatever. Candy is like, look, I'm not stressing about it. You know, I'm gonna just have my lawyers to handle it or whatever. And, you know, meanwhile, Portia is telling Phaedra about what Cynthia told her about Apollo's girlfriend. And Phaedra automatically believes that Todd and Candy are trying to hurt her. It's like, how do you automatically assume that they invited that girl? I mean, let's be honest here. Todd didn't even really invite her. Apollo just took it upon himself to let her come there and represent him, since he can't be there because his ass is locked up. You know what I'm saying? But she automatically believes that they're trying to hurt her, thinking they invited her, calling them messy. I'm like, Phaedra, but you're being messy by sitting up here entertaining Johnny or whatever. You done gave him the referral to the lawyers that can handle his case, but yet you're sitting down in every meeting. Really, Phaedra? Really, Shady Faye? Okay, so anyways, she's sitting here talking about something. I'm at the point now where I'm ready to knock a bitch head off. Who head you fixing to knock off? Because I know you ain't talking about Candy. I know you ain't talking about knocking Candy's head off. And we talking about, and I ain't talking about, you know, like with the cameras and shit like that. I'm talking about off camera, like on some real, like, square up shit. You definitely wouldn't do it off camera, let alone on camera. So, girl, I mean, I guess you thought you did a little something when you tried to come across the table on Kenya. What was it? Was it last season that she did that shit, or the season before, or something like that? But girl, I don't think you're gonna do that shit with Candy. So anyways, Peter, he shows up. You know, Cynthia still all up in his face, trying to be his friend or whatever. We get another blast from the past. Lisa Wu shows up. Another blast from the past. Kim Zolciak. She shows up with Croy. Candy, she kind of looking like, when she see Kim, you know, her and Kim still have that issue. Kenya finally shows up. Kenya sitting up here saying, you know, like, I need to, like, where's the bathroom at, y'all? Like, I need to go to the bathroom. Her and Candy, they end up in the basement or whatever. And Candy was saying the whole time, well, child, I don't know, we should be down here or whatever. I don't think we supposed to be down here. And of course Kenya is shading and everything, this, that, and the third. And Candy is like, well, girl, is your house done or whatever? And Kenya is like, yes, my house is completely done or whatever. Like, she sit up here trying to shade me or whatever, and in her house, not even all the way done. And, Candy is like, I mean, girl, it's a lot of folk with unfinished basements. Like, chill out, Kenya, or whatever. So, Sheree's friend ends up getting them, talking about some, y'all ain't supposed to be down here or whatever. And, she goes to Sheree and tells her, like, these bitches in your basement or whatever. And Sheree is like, who went in the basement or whatever? And Kenya, she's like, me, because I didn't know where I was going. And Sheree is like, if the entire party is on this floor, why would you go down there unless you were trying to be messy and everything? Kenya, she apologizes. I mean, Sheree, where was the security at? Did they just walk away from that particular part that, that they knew people wasn't supposed to go at? Or like, what I'm saying? But anyway, so, Kenya, she apologizes. Then Kim, she interjects and she's like, you don't walk into somebody's house and go into the basement. And Kenya, she's like, Kim, I'm sure you've done it before. And Kim is like, I ain't going nobody's motherfucking basement or whatever. And Kenya was like, well, girl, what I have, just trying to make light of the situation. Kenya's like, I mean, the last time I saw Kim, her face looked completely different or whatever, and I don't need no advice from Octomom. I was just like, I mean, girl, I didn't really know, I didn't know what to say with that shit. So anyways, because it's like, Kenya, I know you want kids or whatever. So anyway, so Kenya starts to notice that her and Sheree have similar lights, similar bedrooms, and meanwhile Candy, she decides to be nice and say hi to Kim or whatever, and Candy was like, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of awkward at first. And Kim was like, well, it shouldn't be awkward after 5 years and everything. And Candy is like, yeah, you right, I just want to move forward. They're congratulating each other on each other's kids and everything. And, Kim is like, yeah, I've had 4 kids since the last time we talked or whatever. And I guess Kim, she notices Kenya, still shading Sheree or whatever. Candy tells her that, yeah, Kenya and Sheree have had this whole drama over their houses and stuff like that. And, Sheree is like, I ain't trying to put nobody out now. Like, she's pretty much getting irritated with Kenya. And, Kenya is like, everybody want to sit up here and gang up on me or whatever about Shay and Sheree, but when Sheree does it, it's cool and everything. Now, I really ain't on nobody's side in this situation, to be quite honest, but I definitely do get where Kenya is coming from. It's like, Sheree came up in Kenya's house, sitting here talking about something. Ooh, girl, this isn't done. Ooh, girl, yeah, that ain't done either. Ooh, it ain't no AC in here, child. Like, what's going on with that or whatever. But when Kenya does it, it's an issue. I don't know, some of y'all might disagree, but they've been doing this tit for tat shit the whole motherfucking time. So fuck it. You know what I mean? So anyways, Kim, she's sitting up here. No, I'm sorry. Sheree, she's sitting up here going on this rant or whatever about not being cheap and Gucci this and Gucci that, child. I don't know. Kim, she sits up here and says to Kenya, because Kenya has said, I think Kenya has said like whatever or something like that. Kim is like, why you gotta be an asshole? Kenya tells her to mind her business or whatever. This ain't got shit to do with you. And Kim is like, but you came over here to her house though. And Kenya's like, bitch, I'm not talking to you. And Kim, she's like, oh my god, your vag is about to fall out and everything. And Kenya's like, yeah, I know you want to see it. Maybe you'll get lucky tonight. And Kim is like, nah, bitch, I got a real man at home. You know what I'm saying? And Kenya's like, at least I don't look like I had 5 kids and everything. And Kim is like, at least I have 6 kids or whatever. And Kenya's like, yeah, by 3 different people. So Phaedra and Portia, meanwhile, they, checking out the other spots of the house. They're in the actual bathroom, which Kenya apparently, I guess, couldn't find earlier or whatever. And they hear the noise, so they rush over to the room to find out what's going on. And Kim, she tells her to twirl her happy ass out, and you know, Kenya's like, so you gonna throw me out of Sheree's house? And Sheree is like, I might throw you out if you don't calm the fuck down. And I'm just like, Sheree, quite frankly, you need to tell the both of them to calm the fuck down, because they both out of pocket right about now. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Phaedra and Portia, they come over trying to find out what the fuck is going on. They, you know, hug Kim or whatever. You know, Sheree is calling Kenya a bitter Betty. Marlo is, you know, telling them, like, you know, Sheree and Kenya have similar lighting. And Kenya is like, yeah, and that's facts. That's not a dig or whatever. And Kim is like, you don't come into somebody's house while they're celebrating and be an asshole or whatever. And Kenya says, you know, you don't talk to me when I don't want you to talk to me. Like, quit being a bitch. And you know, Kenya is like, your husband don't even have a job right now, so you need to worry about that. Kim is like, I got, you know, he's got like 20 mil or something like that. She was saying, I think he's doing pretty well right now. And you know, Kim is like, you want to be like me, you want to have a husband, you want to have kids, and you don't have neither one, this, that, and the third. They telling each other bye or whatever. Kenya is like, I'm not like your duck lips or some shit like that. And I was just like, girl, that was kind of lame. But anyway, so Sheree, she finally tells the both of them to cool out and chill out or whatever. So Sheree, she takes the little piece off of her jumpsuit or whatever, and next here go Phaedra and Portia talking about motherfucking camel toes and shit yet again. And so Candy and no, Kenya, she's talking about Sheree's house to Candy and Cynthia. Sheree, she's over there talking to Phaedra and Portia about the OLG. And, you know, Phaedra's like, I already know or whatever. And I think, you know, Candy invited the girl and everything. Sheree is like, well, Candy didn't know or whatever. Phaedra's sitting up here trying to say that they're obsessed with her, you know, Todd and Candy. Girl, okay, I don't even have the energy for this shit no more. So, you know, Kim is leaving. She's still shading Kenya. She's leaving. Candy finally gets a moment alone with Phaedra. She tells about the girlfriend, and you know, she was like, wish she had known, you know, she would have gave her a heads up. And you know, she apologizes, and you know, Phaedra's sitting here talking about something she could care less about Candy's apology and everything. And Candy brings up Johnny or whatever and asks, you know, did you give him advice about suing me? And you know, Phaedra is like that, you know, I can't give out that information or whatever, you know, even though I'm not his attorney or whatever, I can't divulge information like that if somebody comes to me and asks me for advice. So Candy is like, well, girl, I'm kind of looking at you crazy now too, you know what I'm saying, because that she seems kind of shysty. And you know, Phaedra is like, I mean, I'm not seeking folk out to, you know, for them to ask me for advice. They come to me and I, you know, give them what I give them. And then they give, you know, the whole update on everybody. I don't really give a damn to talk about that shit, because it's either shit that we already know or we don't give a fuck about. Okay, I apologize for this review being long, but I think the show ran longer than what it normally does. So anyways, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.